The workshop today is about um, workshop today is about Easy Speak. Easy Speak is a tool that's very useful, and a lot of clubs around the world are using Easy Speak to create their agendas and keep track of what's happening in a club. So what I'll do for you guys is I'll give you an overview of this tool, and I'll show you how you can implement it for your club members to make the agenda easy and dynamic. What that is instead of using an Excel document or a Word document, you can everything on the agenda is dynamic. So if, for instance, you get a new speaker, you can add that speaker. Even if the person is a guest, you can add that person dynamically, and it all. Easy Speak is really cool because it pulls information from Toastmasters International website. So every project that you do is recorded accurately. So if you're, for instance, you're working on a part humorous speeches, it knows the next speech that you have to work on. So it automatically gives you that choice from the list. So without going too much into the hypothetical, I'd like to share my screen with you guys. And if you have any questions while I'm going through, feel free to ask. The nice thing about Easy Speak and a lot of these Toastmaster tools is because Toastmasters is such a huge organization for, well, almost 400,000 people around the world. It's easy to find information online. You can just Google Easy Speak, and there's lots of tutorials and videos you can find on YouTube that are very useful as well.
Evaluation sheets.
You don't have to upload the evaluation sheets. I mean, you can. It makes it easier for you to track it, especially if you're in multiple clubs or you're not. In the old days, you used to have a physical book where all the evaluations are in the book, but now it's just paper. So it's better to have it somewhere where if you upload it to Pathways, then you don't have to go looking for it anywhere, right?
Okay, so it's just a simple
highly
way.
recommended. Yeah. It's not compulsory.
Yeah, but I was looking at more. Yeah, I think it's a good idea to use as a repository there, writing pathways. But what I was kind of looking for confirmation is whether whoever is going to, let's say, a VP of Ed may want to use that as a trail or evidence that you've completed those projects, or does Toastmaster International would want to audit as well?
No, Toastmaster is not. It's up to the VP Education. Once the VP Education, whether it's in a book or you can. So the thing is, if you be a VP Education, most likely you would have the speeches and the agenda. So you already have it. Sorry, the speeches in Easy Speak. So the fastest way to check if the person actually did the speech is to just go look in Easy Speak. If you see the speeches there, then you don't, unless you weren't at the meeting or something, then you can question it, right? You can ask the member, hey, do you have the evaluation? I can't see it in Easy Speak. You did it in another club, maybe it's not in Easy Speak. So can I see the evaluation? But outside of that, once the VP Education is okay, you don't really need to upload it. But it's a good idea because now you're saving yourself the hassle of going looking for an evaluation, just in case the VP Education might be, I didn't see that. I don't remember you doing that speech.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So last question for you, Leslie. So we have all these members that have done speeches and evaluations and that sort before we got chartered, and some of them were captured in Easy Speak, but we were able to sort that out. So what we have right now is a list of the members and what speeches they have done. That is checked off. So now they need to, but it's not recorded in Pathways.
That's no problem. You can just all you need to do is to work with those members. Let's say I did 2 speeches, and once you have the dates, etc., you can just go into Pathways. Set up the path and just let them just indicate that the speeches are completed, and then the VP Education, once the VP Education is cool with that, you can just approve it. So it's just a matter of procedural, passing it through the system, because the member already completed the speech, they already have an evaluation, so it's a valid speech.
Okay. So the only way to do it is each member would have to go into their pathway and kind of go through and validate.
Yes, that
they've completed it. Okay. Yeah. So there's no way that it could have been done in a mass way or send it to. Okay. No, because somebody told me I should probably call Toastmasters International and let them know what's going on, but I didn't think it was a good idea. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
That would open a can of worms.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, let's saw your hands.
Okay. A question. Talking about that, I did a speech with Brampton North, and I have the evaluation. It's recognized, but they didn't put the title. So I see a question mark. So what do we do? They didn't put the title. The evaluator didn't put the title.
Okay. So you have the evaluation form, the actual paper form?
Not the form, no, not the actual one, but they did recognize. It said that evaluated, it's recognized.
All right, so is it?
But the title, it doesn't say the title, and there's a question.
Yeah, so maybe the evaluator did not record the title. That's not a big deal. You can probably just, because when you go into Pathways, it doesn't ask you for title. There's no position for title. So once you go, you just approve it. Just say it was completed, that's it. And you can scan whatever you have and put it up there if you have the paper. But if you don't have the paper, it's no big deal, right? Because the speech is already in Easy Speak or wherever it is. So, you don't need to worry about that.
So who completes that? I do, or?
The evaluation form?
No, the evaluation is there, not the form, but it says evaluated by.
Right. And that's in Easy Speak?
The question mark, that's a problem.
Yeah, that's not a problem. I mean, unfortunately, you can't go back and edit an entry in Easy Speak because it's kind of like a permanent record. But you don't need to, because what really counts is what's in Toastmasters International, right? When the one that you get credit for is the one in Toastmasters.org.
And I'll show you how to do that. I'll show you how to do that on Sunday, Elizabeth. I'll show you how we're gonna take all your speeches and we're gonna put it into Pathways on Sunday.
No, I have everything there. It's just that particular speech was not. They didn't record the speech properly.
So
that was before we chatted. Yeah, please.
What you can do is next time when you give the evaluator, you can just put in your name and the speech title, so it makes it easier and the date, so it makes it easier for them.
Okay.
But in terms of getting the credit, that's not really important. The speech title doesn't really matter.
Okay, so then that's fine.
Yeah, that's only for your records. Like if a year from now you want to say, oh, what speech did I do or whatever. Yeah. But
I'll get my credit. I don't care.
Oh yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Any other questions?
I'm good, Leslie. Thanks a lot, man.
All right, no worries. So
Leslie,
okay.
Are you gonna go through step by step?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
All right, so I've just logged in successfully to Easy Speak, and I'm gonna bring it up now. Could you guys see my screen?
Yep.
Okay, right. So this is the interface for Easy Speak, but what I'll do now is just give you I'll just give you quickly some a general overview of this tool, like some of the things you can do, and so one of the first things you'll notice is if you have your Easy Speak, if you have your profile set up, you probably see a picture of yourself. In the left-hand corner, you have any clubs that you're associated with. So like if you're a member of any of these clubs, these are clubs that I'm associated with, Gavel Club, Brampton Alpha, and so on. And then it shows this section here. This is the most important section if you're just looking to go in as a member or part of the executive. And then the third important part is this one at the top here. So there are like two menus. Everything in this top menu you can find in this side menu. So it's kind of redundancy, but some people prefer this menu here. It's organized in different sections based on the upcoming meeting and the organization and things like that. Or you can go through this top menu. This menu is, you can do most of the things here. This menu, I think, has more features. So let's look at this top menu. This top menu allows you to just for home for whatever club you're associated with. Then you can see the next meetings and things like that. You can go to agenda. Then this one here shows you participation. So I'm going to come back to some of these. Communications, it shows you what's happening in the club. If you want to send email, like a mass email to everyone in the club, if you have that access. This one is really important. Like especially if you're on the executive, this one is important because this is where you can see who's in the club. You can change people in the club. You can change club officers. You can do all kinds of stuff. This one I really like. This is so powerful. This one here, when the end of the year comes, if you want to do awards or anything like that, you can actually come in here and you can actually see what your club did. Not only in terms of speeches, but in terms of participation, right? Then you have these charts, like goals chart, pathways chart. This I think is the most powerful one, most useful one, because this one here is what you guys would need when you're reconciling speeches that people have not entered in pathways. And pathways is super important because that's how the club gets credit, right? So I'm gonna come back to some of those just now, but just to give you a little more overview. So this one here gives you some quick links in terms of if you wanna search for a club, if you wanna, a new user comes, they wanna do a guest speech, you can search for people in here. So this is a quick, these are just quick links, might not relate it to any club. And this is just up, like if you're learning and you want to see some videos or whatever, you can get the information there. This is if you want to change your own profile. And so I'll just go back now and show you how this is actually powerful. So let's take, for instance, we just started this Pio Bilingual Spanish Club. So I'll just select that. And the reason why I'm choosing this is because I think I have enough access to do multiple things. So actually, you know what? That's a bad example. I'll change to Shenu. I'm not an executive, so I want to have access, but I'll be able to show you some good reporting here. So in this is my French club, Shenu, and as soon as I select this club, it shows me all the members of the club. And then it shows me here, like for the next agenda, what's set up, like who was volunteered for what. So obviously a lot of people are not putting their hands up and volunteering. This allows me to select a role. If I want to be the huissier, the sergeant at arms, I can select this one. And so this is like the most important part. So if I think I'm gonna attend the meeting, if you're just a regular user and you want to signal that you're coming to the meeting, you select this one. If you don't think you'll make it to the meeting, you select the other one and you can enter a reason why not. You don't have to, but you can. So I don't think I'll go to that meeting, so I can do that. So this is some of the reports. So let me just jump into the reports, right? I know you guys might not be thinking about annual reports now, but I just want to demonstrate the power of this to you guys. Easy speak. So when I come in here, I just clicked on that and it showed me all of the, this is all in French. So if you don't know French, you might be struggling to figure out. So this is show me all of the meetings by date. It showed me who was the Toastmaster. It showed me the meeting theme. It showed me the word of the day. And now I can click here. I can see awards. Now our club, we do give our best table topics. So it's showing all of the people. You guys might know Nafusita. She's switched to your club. So she obviously won this best table topics on that date. Now this is the one that's really important here now, because this is showing you all of the speeches that people did in the club. So if someone is trying to submit for an award, they said, oh, I think I finished my 5 speeches, and you're the VP education or the president, you want to help them out, or secretary, you can just come in here quickly and you can see which clubs that person, which speeches that person did. And it shows the name of the speech, all of the information. So you don't need anything else. So you can just automatically just submit their information for them, or you can let them follow. So this is another report that's based on the annual activities. And this one is really cool because now it's showing everything that person did for the whole year. All right. So the meeting is weekly. Every Sunday, you can see this person. Every Sunday there's there. Same as me. I'm there almost every single Sunday. I'm doing all kinds of roles. Chronometer, evaluator, different roles. And it shows everything. See this person, Anita, it shows all of the roles she did for the entire year. So this tool is like super powerful, really powerful, right? And you can filter, but you can change the dates around and so on. So let me jump out because you guys might not be ready for annual meetings, but look at this one here. This is probably going to be the most powerful one that you're going to be interested in using like right away, because this one here shows you, it looks a little maybe look a little confusing if you're looking at it for the first time, but when you look carefully you can see that it's really simple. Like for instance, all you have to do is look for, let's say you're looking for myself. So this is me here, and these are all the speeches that I did in this club. All right, so I have and the nice thing about Easy Speak is it doesn't matter which club you do the speech in. Once the club records your information, like all of these speeches I didn't do in Chez Nous. All right, so some of these speeches I did in Brampton Alpha, some I did in Regional Field Club. I can do them even in the US as a guest speaker, and it's still gonna record it in here once the club that I do it at has Easy Speak. So this is very powerful. It's across any clubs, and once they have your information, they can enter it correctly.
As long as you're put in the agenda, then it's connected.
Yeah, once it's once the club is using Easy Speak, like I'm in another club in Florida and they don't use Easy Speak. They use Free Toast Host. So any speeches I do there, I would have to record it manually and keep my evaluation form. They don't have Easy Speak, but once the club has Easy Speak, it's gonna show up here. All right, so that's one of the, and to get this, you just go to club, you go to club charts, and then you go to pathways chart. So this is what everyone's using in terms of their education. So similarly, you can do speech list and all these kind of things. You can play around with that stuff later on. So one of the things you might want to know that's really important is how to set up new people, right? How to set up new people, how to get if a guest speaker wants to come on your agenda. So let me go to another club where I have admin access. So I'll go to the Spanish club again. So if you look in here, you can see the screen looks a little different. Rather than just the up arrow, now I can actually choose people and put them on the agenda. All right, so I'm logged in with more access, and I'll show you how you can set up the access. So if you come here, you can go to club and then club officers, sorry, this one. And anyone that's set up as a club officer would automatically have access. So our club president is set up as Mina, so she would have a certain amount of access. Our VP education is set up as Sven, and I am set up as IT support. So this IT support is like a special role where you get like almost full access. And you can have two people set up as VP education. This is not strict like Toastmasters International. You can set up the users however you want. So
how do you set up multiple people as, let's say, the VP? And
right.
give
So if you want to set up another person as VP education, it's a little complicated, but if you see there's 3 additional positions here, you can choose someone. Let's say I decided to give Marisol the access, the committee member, and I can edit this role here, committee member, to give it multiple access, or I can actually create another role, a brand new role that's called vice president backup or something like that.
How do you do that?
Right. So now you're asking like tricks of the trade, right? And
right.
so I can show you, but I have to warn you that this one requires you have to be really careful what you're doing. Did you see what I just did? Okay,
control panel.
If you have control panel access, you can come in here. So you should have it because you're a club president and it's a new club. So when you come in here, there's this option here that says club officers. Let me just click, got it. Club officers. But the thing about when you create roles in here, you have to be careful. You have to know what you're doing, right? So let's say I decided to create a new role for this committee. Instead of committee member, I can rename this to second VP education. And this you might need because you probably want to have multiple people doing certain roles. So once you're here, you can assign. See these access here. It says, for instance, Ricky used to send VP education more or less has all of the access. All right, so you can just duplicate what's the access that VP education has. I'm not going to save this because I don't want to create a new one. But
okay, I got it. So I would have to go to the control panel and go to the club officers and then edit. Okay.
Yes, exactly. And then if you want to see specifically what VP education has, I think I updated this VP education here for Spanish Club. The VP education has almost everything on the IC support. So this is a bad example. So that's basically how you do it.
Okay,
so let me show you some more stuff. So typically what on a day-to-day basis, there's certain things that you need to do in the club, right? What's happening on a day-to-day basis in a club? People are signing up for speeches. You want to fill the agenda. So that's done in the role of the VP education. And I'll show you guys some tricks. So once you select the club, let me choose a different club now. GABA Club, for instance. No, that's probably not a good example. Let me choose a regional appeal. So this is showing the agenda. So let's say you want to create, you guys know how to create new agendas?
A little bit. Go for it though. Go for
it. So this is the general, this is showing the next meeting as January 6th. And so if I want to look at that agenda, nothing is set up. As you can see here, nothing is set up. I can click here and it would show me what's on the agenda. But let's say I go back to a previous one. So this would be yesterday's agenda. And I can click here and it shows me the entire agenda. So let's see how you create this agenda. So if you want to create a brand new agenda, you click next at the top. Yeah, if you click this next, and it's gonna take you to the next one in the list, or if there's nothing set up, okay, so there's one set up here. And if you see if you get to the end, like now, there's no next button, right? See, there's a previous, but no next. All right, then let me see what access I have in this club officers. I'm probably not even in IT support. Yeah, so it's not showing me the admin access. So I'm not in there. But if I go to another club where I have that access, and I do next, and a couple of times, it's going to take me right. See, there's no more agendas, so I'd have to say new event. And if you can see the pop-up, it says create new event. Do you see that?
Yeah.
All right, so basically if I were to click that, it would basically put me into this interface, which allows me to create a new event. And this is really cool because this screen has like tons of objects in here. It looks simple, but this allows me to choose, like for instance, whether it's a regular meeting, whether it's a committee meeting, whether it's a special event like a Christmas meeting. Then it has starting date, it has the venue. Everything's on Zoom nowadays, so that doesn't really matter. Meeting number. And then there's one thing here that a lot of people don't use, but you can actually add objects to here. Like if you want to make your agenda look really pretty, you can insert pictures and things like that to your agenda. If maybe it's a Christmas meeting, you can add, a picture of something festive to the agenda. That's something you can do.
Let's see how you do that again.
Oh, so you click on this object. You can look for something. Let's say I'll just use one that I already uploaded. Say it's Victoria Day. You can just select that. And did I select it? Oh yeah. So it comes in here. If you want to center it on the page, you can select that. And now you have an agenda with that. So I can submit. I have to remember to delete this one. So when I go back here, now, once the agenda is filled up, it's gonna have this in the heading for that agenda.
Okay. So, Leslie, one of the things that I wanted to really get a good grip on is actually editing or creating new agendas. Right?
Yeah.
So let's say I'd like to get some templates, let's say for the regular meetings, then one for a business meeting. So how do we kind of do that?
Yeah, this is basically the same thing what I just showed you. Let me just save here because I don't want that to. Let me show you. Right, so if you want to create templates,
yeah,
that's simple as well. Let me go to.
Just give me a second, I'll be on mute.
Yeah. Right, so these are some of the ones that you can use, like the calendar. I don't know if you guys are familiar with this. To come up. Yeah, this calendar shows you like all the clubs that are in the district, and all online meetings. Oh, that's interesting. Last meeting on that, agendas, January, February, meeting list. See your meeting list, and create a meeting. So this is the other one that I showed you earlier, right? Where you can just create a meeting. And in here, this is tied to, so if you look, this is what comes up more or less as the heading for the meeting. Then you have the meeting theme. Let's say it's it's a Christmas meeting or whatever. You can set that here. Then you have this drop down where you can choose. So every instance of Easy Speak has a number of default meetings. And all you need to do is you can take one of these existing agendas and modify it. All right.
So hold on, Leslie. This is interesting. So how do we get there again from the homepage?
Yeah. So let me go back. So I went here to create meetings. All right.
From where? I missed that create.
Oh, from the headings, meetings. So you have home,
meetings.
Yeah, then you just create meetings.
Cool, got it. Yeah.
Right. And this is gonna do is Easy Speak is kind of smart. It looks for the last date and it increments based on your meeting frequency. So if you meet every week, and let's say I create this one and save it, it's gonna increment this date to meeting number 8. When you see this is meeting number 8, it's gonna take it to meeting number 9 if you say create again. And then if you say create again, it's gonna create another one. All right?
Okay.
Yeah. So you don't have to put that in. That's the system creates that. So once you specify the agenda, let's say you have a speech contest, you can choose that. Or if it's just 2 speakers, a regular 2 speaker, 3 speaker agenda, you can choose that. It's there's some other ones in the template, so you can choose as well.
And this is something that is built in Easy Speak, or this is not specific to this club that you're in right now, right?
These are templates that come with Easy Speak. That's correct.
Okay, good.
And you can modify some of the templates too, all right? But
all right.
It's not recommended that you modify it unless you really know what you're doing, because it can easily go haywire. Yeah. You can play with it, but if you're gonna make a new one, it's best to save one and then make a copy and then update that one, the second one, rather than update the one that you
I didn't see a business meeting there though. There should be one for business though, right?
Yeah, you can name it whatever you want, right? So these are just some that we created. So when you say business meeting, you mean like exec committee meeting?
No, club business meeting, like the monthly business meeting, whatever we have. Is there a special agenda for that?
You can create one, but most clubs they like for the exec meetings they create a separate agenda outside of Easy Speak, because
right.
Unless you're recording speeches and evaluations, you really don't need to put it
into Easy Speak.
Yeah. Because remember the main purpose of Easy Speak is to keep a good record of all the speeches, all the evaluations, all the roles that people did. Pathways doesn't record roles, but mainly the speeches and evaluations.
No, what I was thinking, Leslie, is when we're having a club business meeting, for example, how do we set that up on an agenda or an existing agenda? How do we modify it?
You can do that in Microsoft Word or whatever tool you have. You can just download one of the templates from the internet and use that.
But if you wanted to, because a lot of times when you have business meeting, it's only a part of the meeting is on the business section, right? maybe a half an hour, and the rest is still a regular meeting with speeches and such.
Oh, so okay, okay, I'm getting confused. So, I think so club business is usually a part of a regular meeting, right? Is that how? Huh? So, club business is part of the agenda. It's not like a whole separate new agenda, right? Unless you can create an agenda that has club meeting and the other is no club meeting, club business, right? But I think most clubs that do business within their meeting, they have it as part of every meeting. It's listed as an item. So I think, for instance, if you look at this one here, just switching between clubs because have access in here, and you look at, let's see, club chart. Yeah, regional appeal, we don't do it. Maybe Brampton Talks, I don't know. Let's look at their agenda and see what they have.
We do, yeah, Brampton Talks, we do a business.
Yeah, Humor Master Club Business, see?
Yeah.
So it's just part of the agenda. So it just, yeah, Elizabeth, I forgot you're part of that club as well. So yeah, that's how it is.
They do that every meeting. They do this then.
Yeah, but it doesn't.
If it's needed.
Yeah, so if you have no business to talk about, you can just say, oh, we don't have any business. If anyone has any.
So I guess the best thing for us to do is to revise or modify our agenda and add this into it, right? That would be the easiest thing instead of creating a new template.
Yeah, it's up to you. If you guys have a lot of business, I'm in most clubs that I'm in, they don't have club business, like Brampton Alpha. If there's anything to be discussed, it's usually discussed at the executive and they do a vote. They need to do a vote at the regular meeting. They would just they would just bring it as an item on the agenda and then they just vote on it. But it's not, they don't have club business because the meeting there is just like 1 hour and 1 hour and a half, an hour 15 sometimes. So they don't have it as a special item on the agenda. But that's personal. Yeah, you guys can decide on that later on.
Yeah.
So let me just point out a couple more things. All right. Let's say you want to email everyone in the club. Just use this one here. I think I'm still in Brampton Talk, so I don't have much access there. So let's go to our firm again.
How many clubs you have there, Leslie?
I'm in a lot of clubs, man.
8? Wow. 7 days a week.
Right, so this is an example where you can have VP membership, education. So we actually have this person's VP education backup. All right, so that's what I was explaining to you. And you have IT support, and then you have IT support backup. So any of these people can help out, right? Plus you have this committee member that's set up. This person can help out with Easy Speak, all right? So that's just an example, all right? So what was I going to show you? I was going to show you in terms of communication. You can use this tab, or the same thing is on the left-hand side, where you can contact My Communication. You can send a message to a specific person, or you can do a club mass email. I'll just show you this like real quick. So this one is real powerful because let's say you have a special meeting and you want to email everyone in the club, or you just want to send it to guests, or you want to send it to just the members, or you want to send it to visitors. You can do that. Just put in a subject, put in a message here, and say email, and it's going to send it out to everyone. So it's really powerful. So that's a nice feature. And so some of these, like these are general purpose. Anyone can access this, my participation, because this is like if I want to sign up for a role in the meeting, I click here. And this is where I can say, oh, I want to do an evaluator. I just do an up click. The good thing about that is that it would automatically see these are meetings all the way into the future, right? I can, in our January meeting that's coming up, I can say, yes, I want to be general evaluator here. Click here, and automatically it's going to send it, add it to the agenda, and it's going to send an email to the VP Education so that person knows. So this is something that you want to have your club members getting used to doing, because they can just come in here and select whatever roles they want for the next 4 meetings without having to, sit through the end of the meeting waiting for someone asking, oh, who wants to do a speaker, who wants to be an evaluator, they don't have to wait and all that stuff. So the faster you get them to adopt this here, it's going to make life way easier for you guys. So that's just, and all they need to do is come into my participation and then select whatever role they would like to do. And especially with your mentors can sit down with their mentees and say, okay, what do you want to do next week? Yeah, I want to do an evaluator. Okay, when are you going to do a speech? In 2 weeks, 3 weeks? Okay, select, and they can, ahead of time, they can book those speeches. They can, if it's a brand new member, you might want to give them a simple role like grammarian or quizmaster. They can do that ahead of time. You don't have to wait for the meeting or for the VP to ask, right? So those are things that would be very useful for, or you even as the president, whoever, to sit with new members and get them to understand that, and then they can start booking their roles, right? Same thing with the speeches. You can say, view my speech progress. You can request a speech. If you request a speech here, it brings up this is where I was telling you that it's connected to Toastmasters International. Let's say you want to do a speech running, and say, I want you to introduce me, whatever. And then this is the powerful one where it actually it knows all the projects that I'm working on. So once I choose my path, let's say I'm working on leadership development. All right, I'm not sure what happened there. Let me do that again. New meeting. Sorry, I wanted to request a speech, and I was gonna choose from here. So these are, it shows you a number of manuals. Let me see if I can not crash that again. I choose effective coaching. Oh, something is wrong. I know it's doing that. Anyway, so you can choose, as a member, you can choose the path that you want, and then it's going to show you the next speech that's available. So let me show you something else. So I can see my speech progress. I come in here. Regardless of whichever club I do it in, these are all the speeches that are, this is my speech progress. So like for instance, I'm working on effective coaching. It shows them I'm already at level 4. And also working on leadership development, it shows I'm level 4. I just need to finish one thing, and then I'm in level 5 and I'm done. So that's really, really, really powerful. And this one, scheduling and VP Ed task. This is where the VP Education can go and schedule speeches for the whole club all at once. So at the end of the meeting, the VP Ed can just come in here. It's a bit slow right now. Yeah, the VP Education can come in here, and based on which agenda is current, they can say, okay, you want to be the next speaker. Select the person's name, first, second, third speaker, and so on. And then the VP Ed can send an email to these people, and the VP Ed can also look and see when is the last day, how long ago, like this person here, according to Easy Speak, this person hasn't spoken in 86 days, right? See that?
Yeah.
Elizabeth Smart, she hasn't spoken in 86 days. So the VP education can make smart decisions. Like this person here, Errol Chambers, he hasn't done his icebreakers yet. It says 0 speeches. So this is where the VP education has a lot of power, right? Some of these are past members. That's why it's showing. Talika, it's showing her she hasn't done a speech in 265 days. That doesn't even look correct, but that's what it's showing, right? So that's the power of this tool.
So it is actually a very powerful tool.
It's a very, very powerful tool. You just have to use it and get used to it. So I'll just show you a few more and then I'll ask if you have any questions. So this area is for the VP membership. You get roles by meeting, pathways chart, which is the one I showed you earlier, and leadership development. Membership management. This is the one I was looking for. So this is really powerful. This is where you can add and remove members, change them from being a guest to an actual member. You can click on here. And let's say this person no longer a member of the club. You can click this pencil mark and now you can edit his entire profile. And if you click on club, this club tab, you can change him from being see, it actually shows who the person's mentee is. So this is really, really nice because I can show you, I'll show you in a minute how you can track who the mentors are for everyone in the whole club. So here you can see change of status, and you can say this person is no longer a member, this is an inactive member, or they're a visitor now, or maybe it was a visitor initially and the person signed up, so now you change them from visitor to a member. All right, so that's the current state, and you can change it to something else. So that's more. Let me show you that one last chart, which is it's mentors, membership, view mentors. This one I think is really, really powerful. We talk about this one, Mohammed, about setting up mentorship in the club. So this is really cool because now, instead of you having it on the back of an envelope, who's your mentor and who's your mentee and that kind of stuff, you can have a permanent record here for every single person. So you can just refer to this and you can see, I can just come in right away and see who this person's mentor is. Steven's mentor is Talika, and Steven is now mentoring Rita and Amy. So that's really cool, right? So it's like 360 mentorship. So what we try to do in this club, Brampton Alpha, is to have everyone should have a mentor. So even though someone might be a distinguished Toastmaster or whatever, they still need help, right? They still need encouragement to, hey, you haven't done a speech for a long time. Why don't you do a speech? So that's the purpose of the mentor. So I think that's the nuts and bolts of this. There's a few other things that you can probably find. I'm just browsing to see if there's anything else that I didn't cover, but that's basically it.
I do have a question.
Yeah, sure.
Is there a way you can insert the Zoom link into the agenda?
Yeah, you can. You can do when you create when you go to agendas. Let me go to meetings. Meeting. I think this is the next meeting that's coming up. You can. I think it's right here. That's the meeting ID. All right. So click here to join. So it says online meeting. So this is a new thing that Easy Speak they added.
Okay.
You can add. Yeah, you can put the meeting ID here, and then so that's how it's done.
That's new.
Yeah, that's new because of course we didn't used to have online meetings before. This
No, I mean this is very recent. I haven't seen this the last time I went in, unless I wasn't looking for it.
Yeah, well, this has been there for at least over 6 months, right? So it's been there for a while. Yeah.
Okay.
It's just a question, please.
Yeah, sure.
A question regarding the number. So here is a number, but the link, you know how it's easier to just click the link instead
Yeah.
of typing the number?
What's that?
You only have numbers, you don't have the link itself.
Click here to join meeting. I'm not sure if you can see. It's actually bringing me to
Yeah.
Zoom. All right. So it actually creates the whole meeting link.
Yeah.
Once you set it up properly in there, it's gonna create it.